Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting, and welcome to our channel today. I appreciate y'all being here. And for those of you that have not yet done so, please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. If you find the content beneficial, please hit that like button as well. In addition, share this content with friends, associates, colleagues. If you're managing a gym, if you own a gym, you're operating gyms, this can be a great training tool, for all your team and all your staff. I think by now we've got close to 1,000 how-to videos, here on the channel. It can be a great way to provide education and knowledge to your staff on a daily basis. And then also to learn more about me, my company, and how we can help take your business to that next level, check out the links below for additional information on that. And so with that said, our topic for you today, it's the most common gym business challenges for new gym owners. The most common challenges for new gym owners. So if you're just getting started, listen up. If you're thinking about either acquiring a gym, if you're thinking about, starting one from scratch, have aspirations like that, listen up here and see kind of where you fall in with some of this and where some of your challenges might be. If you're already doing it, you're going to know firsthand where they are, and perhaps we can talk about some things that can give you some benefit here to really grow your business. And so we have 11 tips here for you of challenges for new gym owners. Number one is capital. It's money, okay? You're going to need money to get this done, okay? And, one of the biggest challenges on this is just not having enough. And you don't want to run too lean out of the gate because, marketing is going to have to be spent, things are going to have to be done. Now, there's things you can do to mitigate some of this. You can, landlord, you can get to negotiate for the landlord to handle your TI dollars. You can get equipment leases. You have a good pre-sales that can ramp things up to, get you toward the path of profitability really quick. But, you're always looking for money. This is going to be one of the big things here. Even if you find what you want initially, you're always going to be looking for money, whether it's debt, whether it's equity. One of the things you can do, check out the link below. We have a gym funding link here, where you could potentially qualify for up to $250,000 in funding with no collateral. So, take a look at that. That can be some benefit to you. And when you're looking for the capital, again, I want to stress you're always looking for it. Okay, we're always looking for ways to do more with less, but we don't want to choke this thing off. To the point that, hey, we get it open and now we can't market it, now we can't promote it. Okay, you're going to have to do that. Rather you wait just a little bit to do it instead of doing it, too lean to start. Number two, the business challenges, it's cash flow. And one of the things, again, we kind of look at cash flow and you look at your pro forma budgets, and if you're starting a new facility or even if you're buying one, there's a tendency, for a new owner to kind of want every shiny object out there. And again, let's go, a little bit lean on this. You don't need everything. Just, it needs to produce. If it's producing revenue for you, okay, it's probably a good thing to have. If it's not producing revenue, I probably wouldn't look at it. And when you're looking at, you're doing your pro forma budgets, there's a tendency sometimes to kind of have some rose-colored glasses on this revenue thing. And we want to make sure that I would even suggest being a little bit conservative, even though that kind of flies in the face of the entrepreneur. But think about this from a banker's perspective, okay, in terms of revenue. I know many times when I talk to folks and they'll send over business plans for me to look at, and the first question I have is, hey, if we cut this revenue in half, do you still think you can make this work? Because again, that's the biggest problem that I find that most, particularly new gym owners, make. They overestimate what can be done. I tell you what, I remember we were working on it with a group, pretty good sized group, and it was a merger they were doing, these two operations. And part of the things that they had looked at and we'd all looked at was all these synergies, all these additional ways because of this merger that they're going to be able to bring in additional revenue and accomplish additional things. And I think when it was all said and done, I think the merger ended up being a success and, sold lots of memberships, dominated the marketplace. But all those things they thought they were going to do, I'm not real sure they accomplished many of them at all. So, we can really overshoot this. Don't look at it from rose-colored glasses. My advice when you're doing the cash flow projections, look at it from a banker's point of view. You're going to be a little more critical on it. Doesn't mean you have to run it that way. You can run it like, hey, we're going to do big numbers and we're going to promote and we're going to market. But when you're really planning this out, think like a banker might think. Number 3, this is more for if you guys are starting a new operation, but quitting another career. This is a challenge because, part of the idea, if you're starting this thing, you're trying to get funding. A lot of times your lenders, they like for you to keep your current job because now you have steady income. You can pay back the note if need be. You're not pushed to pull, income out yourself. So a lot of times folks like that, on the lending side. But then on your side, you're not there 100% of the time. So a lot of this could be, how are you going to run it, how are you going to operate it, and how's the program going to work. But quitting another career can be a challenge. To get financing, that may be what you do. To really have long-term success, I think you need to go all in. Okay. Number 4 of the challenges is, too many competitors. There's too many competitors. There's a lot of competitors, a lot of competition, not just other brick and mortar. I mean, there's all kinds of things online and CDs and videos and you name it, it's everywhere. Okay, I mean, there's free things in the park you can do. So there's lots of competition, lots of people looking for that same dollar. But the big message I would give you here, if you have too much competition, there's always too much competition, is what's your point of differentiation? What are you doing that's truly different than everybody else? And make it truly different. Don't say we're more friendly, we're cleaner, because everyone's saying that, whether it's true or not. How can you quantify what makes us different? Make a list of some of the facilities near you and write out what makes them different. Are they low price? Are they open 24 hours? Are they women only? I mean, those are things that are true, differentiation things for these clubs. Okay, so when you have true differentiation, that's really kind of how you start to get rid of that. That's how you get rid of that competition. And then along with that is marketing to an uncontested market space. You think about too much competition. Generally speaking, about 20% of any market area is going to be a member of a gym. There's another 80% sitting out there. How can you market to this uncontested market space? What are their concerns? How can you offer certainty to that group of people to get them to want to walk in your front door? And then how can you disposition them, into a new customer for you? So, too much competition, maybe some ways you can work on that. Number 5, hiring employees. Big challenge. And not just hiring them, but then getting them trained up. Okay? And so the hiring part, the big message I would give here, don't hire when you need somebody. Make sure we're doing it all the time. The best time to hire someone is when you don't need anybody. There's a tendency just to fill a slot. I had to get that position filled. I had to get that done. And 9 times out of 10, you make the wrong decision. Okay, and you're going to have turnover. You're going to have churn. And that's not where you want to be, not for long-term growth. Okay. And so you want to have a process in place on how you're going to hire. And one of the things that I like to do on this is whenever we're hiring, I like to have folks send over a 30-second video of having them tell me why they're the best person for the job, because I want to weed out all the folks that don't want to do that. I want to weed out all the folks that can't follow directions. Okay, because I don't want to make that bad hire. I want to hire folks that are willing to follow directions, that are willing to do this. Okay, and then if they do that, I'm going to send them over a test, a sales philosophy test, and see if they're kind of in line with what my culture is. And then maybe when we interview them, I'm going to role play. I want to role play their current job. I'm going to have other people interview them as well. Okay, because it's important I make that right hire. But then before they walk inside that gym, they're going to go through probably at least a week of training, okay, to understand this. Because when they walk in, I want them ready to go. I don't want them to walk in and struggle and have confidence drop. So hiring employees, you want to get a real strategy going on with that. You want to have a real plan of action with that, because you're recruiting and looking for people just as much as you are new members. Number 6, finding new members. Big challenge. That's the one that so many folks call me about. Is hey, we need more members over here. Okay, and number 1, the biggest challenge that small business has is the issue of obscurity. Nobody knows who you are, and those that do don't have you at top of mind. And you need a marketing, a promotional, an advertising, a prospecting plan in place where the goal is we want to get known by everybody. This doesn't have to cost a whole lot of money. It has to cost some time and effort and boots on the ground and guerrilla marketing, but we want to take the time to get that done because you need to get known. You can have the nicest facility in the world, greatest staff, but if people don't know who you are, and if you're not driving people in the facility, and if you don't have a sales process when they get there, this will be a struggle. Okay. Number 7, time management. Time management's an issue. And, the funny thing about time management, nobody has an advantage on this. It's 24 hours a day, no matter who you are. That's what you get. Okay. And how are you going to handle time management? Well, number 1, if it can be done by somebody else in your management, delegate it. If it can be done by somebody else, delegate it. Plain and simple. Okay. Automate things that are repetitive. Okay. Automate things, to scale this. Okay. Ask yourself this question every day. And have your staff ask it. Is what I'm doing right now going to result in a sale? One of the interesting statistics out there is that salespeople, by and large, only spend about 20% of their time doing something that's going to result in a sale. What if you could double that? What if you could double it again? So there's some real issues there in time management and how we utilize our time. Don't find yourself sitting around simply waiting. Don't find yourself bogged down with menial tasks that somebody else could do. Okay, that rolls into number 8 here for us is delegating tasks. Delegate. If somebody else can do it, let them do it. Don't just get that mindset. Hey, if I want it done, I have to do it myself. Because part of this, we want to be showing our staff that we trust them. We want to create that situation of them feeling empowered to do certain things. Plus, we want to do what we're best at. And if it can be done by somebody else, delegate it. Number 9, finding business partners. Big challenge here. And I want to talk about this at a few levels. Business partners, it could be, financial partners that are part of the deal, okay? But it also could be your billing companies. It could be your insurance companies. It could be who you get your equipment from. I know folks that contact me and they want my help on growing a business and developing a business. What I tell everybody, one of the things that I'm looking for is I want that trusted partner relationship. Okay, so make sure you find the right folks. Make sure you talk to them. Check out the companies. Make sure you're on the same page as far as philosophy. Make sure there's a good chemistry between you two. Okay, make sure that communication is there. Okay, find the right business partners to work with. Number 10, choosing what to sell. Okay. And certainly, if you're watching this video, you're selling memberships, right? But, do you also sell private training? Do you also sell retail? Do you also sell supplements? What do you sell online? How does that work? Choose what you want to sell. Because what I like to see you have is you're going to sell memberships, but I like to see you have another 3 to 4 profit centers that are all doing at least a 20% margin. Okay, so make sure you know what you want to sell, but also how do you want to sell it? How are we going to make that second sale? Here's a process to make the first sale. What's the process to make the second sale and third, for that matter? And then don't ignore your website. Your website is a whole other storefront here. Okay, just like your physical storefront, your website's a storefront too. Treat it the same way. And then finally, common business challenges. Self-doubt. Start to doubt ourselves, particularly if you have a bad day or two. So a couple things, okay. A, who you associate with is crucial, okay. Make sure you're associating with folks that are positive. Don't be associating with folks that are telling you how tough things are, how difficult it's going to be, how you're never going to do this. Run from those people as fast as you can. Join entrepreneur groups, business groups, associate with high achievers. Doesn't have to necessarily be in the fitness industry, but you want to associate with these kind of folks. Folks like myself, find yourself a mentor. Find yourself someone you can work with that can guide you through this. I mean, if you want to have success, if you don't know where you're going, talk to someone who's been there. Talk to someone who knows the way out. Talk to someone who can help get you the results. Okay, and then also on that self-doubt thing, one thing I would comment on is, making sure you set your goals, because more often than not, if we're not hitting our numbers, usually one of two things have happened. Either our self-esteem is suffering, i.e. self-doubt, or we've lost sight of our goals. And so we want to get that self-esteem back up, but also let's get those goals back up. And so write them down first thing every morning, write them down last thing at night, and write them down any time during the day when you experience disappointment. Keep the goals and why this is important to you, keep that at the forefront, because you're going to have some challenges along the way. No question about it. It's how we choose to deal with that. Okay, so 11 common challenges in the gym business, particularly for new gym owners. Are you facing any of this? If you need some help, give me a call. We're offering a free 45-minute strategy session. If you'd like to talk, happy to do that for you. You can call, text, email me on that. And then if you're thinking about getting into the business, sit down and look at this and include these things in your business plan. Include it in your plan of action. How do you want to address these? Because you address those, you address them effectively, you're going to go a long ways toward having a successful gym operation. So folks, my name's Jim Thomas. My company's Fitness Management and Consulting. Appreciate you being here and look forward to seeing you all in that next video.